All right, what's up? We have some crazy news about the 2024 tour schedule. Let's get into it. All right, so no, I'm not in the Blair Witch. This is not intended to be because of the spooky season. I am currently in the middle of nowhere, Virginia. So if I can even upload this, I'll be pretty ecstatic. But today I want to talk about the 2024 tour schedule. Also, a side note, so I will be publishing a video tomorrow about what I'm doing currently, but for now it's kind of a secret. And but be sure to check out my channel tomorrow because it will be crazy what I'm doing, and I think you'll enjoy it. But first off, so the big changes that I want to talk about first has to be that the Pro Tour has decided we are doing away with any Silver Series indignation. This means that every event that is a current Silver Series has been either dropped or elevated. So all those events that were dropped now have the potential to be part of like the tour card series. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's all the players that are trying to vie for a tour card. And I think while that is interesting to some degree, even me as like a super fan, I don't think I'm going to be watching that. So I think all these events are kind of on the back burner, which I am a major proponent not to have happen, because we had so much good diversity of courses this year, and it was just phenomenal disc golf. You got it so often, and there were so many pros going to all the Silver Series that I never really felt like an event didn't matter. Like even the Canadian one, you still had the European champion in Eagle McMahon and a world champion, Isaac Robinson. So people are clearly going to these events. Sure, spectators weren't that much, and I bet reception wasn't the best at all these, but they were phenomenal. So let's just go over all those events that we did lose. So obviously LVC. First of the Silver Series that we did lose, Kansas City Wide Open. Me personally, I love this course. I really wanted it to be a mainstay of the tournaments in the Pro Tour because it has been an Elite Series in the past, and I think everyone was loving the Kansas City Wide Open. So the fact that they took it out is a bit of a bummer, and I'm really hoping to see it come back to some extent and be more than just a place for tour cards. Next up, Mid-America. There's a lot of things going on with that one, so I can understand that one. Next up, North Cove. Probably one of the best courses of the entire year. So the fact that this is not being promoted feels a bit wrong. And I think there's so many shots and so many shot shapes that pros were challenged by, and it wasn't gimmicky, and it just felt like what a professional tour should look like. It just had so many things going right with it that I really hope to see it become an Elite Series in 2025. No Canadian places, so I forget what the name was, Prince Edward Island Open, something like that. Don't see that one. The Missoula, Montana one, Zootown Open, also gone. And I know it's not ever been a thing with and I know it's never been a trend for the Pro Tour to have stops in Colorado or really anywhere in like the mid-north, but I would love to see it happen more often because there's just fun things going on when you have crazy elevation and like anything could happen. So the fact that that will probably never happen in the foreseeable future is a bit of a bummer. Next up, PCS has not been hard confirmed. The events that were announced were all US based, so I bet PCS will still remain, but it has not been confirmed yet. And if you guys remember, Paul won the New World Championship. It was like the first Silver Series of the 2023 season, even though it happened in 2022. I thought it was a decent course, but that's one I don't really care that it left. So to me, simplifying all these events to be just Elite Series or Elite Series Plus or playoffs or majors just kind of feels like they're missing the mark. Like, sure, those indignations are important, and they probably are what should be the right fit for the tour, because Silver Series felt like, well, why would I go? Like, no one's going to be there. Why would I care? So I get that. But losing all these events is just a major downside. And I know the Pro Tour isn't there yet to be like golfers where you have a lot of pros just skipping events, but I think having more events is better. There is a lot more potential for interesting shot shapes and lines on a crazier course, and having these same events year after year just gives players and fans burnout. And me personally, that's just not where I want to go. I don't want to see these same courses again and again and again. So for me, if we could just get rid of DDO, move it to Kansas City Wide Open. If we could bring other courses to the mix, like a Pittsburgh course or more North Carolina courses, or more Virginia courses. Like, I know we have Worlds at Virginia, but I think there's probably great courses there too. But for now, I feel like stagnation is kind of the trend because it's a lot more comfortable. They can predict the reception, the spectator areas, and they know what to expect based upon previous years. So to some extent, I get it, but it also is very frustrating. And if you recall, the Champions Cup has been postponed until November, which means there's currently 13 events until we get to our first major, which is the European Open. I do not foresee this being really a good thing because I think players and fans will get very, very burnt out by not having a major. I think it's just like, it's nice to have something to look forward to in the season. And if you're a player week after week after week, you just may not love that. But it's kind of a smaller note. Also, there's currently there's 4 events in Texas, which feels a little bit much because I think a lot of players and fans were kind of wanting to pull back of Texas, but that's just not the case. And I'm currently saying that because Texas States did not get dropped. Texas States is now an Elite Series or like a whatever event. It's a main event. I don't know if they will use the Elite Series ever again, because does it really matter if you don't have Silver Series? So they've promoted Texas, and they've also promoted Beaver State Fling. And to me, these both kind of felt inevitable, so I'm not really surprised by these. I think they're good, but also I feel like they could have done a lot more there. And then the last major change that I see is Paul's course, the Throwdown on the Mountain course in Florida, is now becoming the first event of the entire year. And me personally, I love this course. I hope it all pans out the way they want it to, because I think there's still some kind of lawsuit going on, and I thought it was panned out, but then I read some stuff that it was not panned out. So whatever the case is, I really hope to see that course come back, because I think it's a phenomenal course. Probably the best change they've made the entire season for the 2024 season. And I really, really like it. But if you'll note, that also means that Paul has 2 courses coming to tour for the first time, which is kind of crazy. And it kind of makes you think, like, is there favoritism because like this is Paul's baby at New London? And I mean, I know the Florida course isn't really like his baby, but he's also put a lot of money and effort into it. So it kind of feels like he's getting a little bit more favoritism versus other courses that are not, but that's just kind of the way it goes. And I do think New London will be a phenomenal Worlds course. I cannot wait to see it and potentially play it. Sorry, there's a big bug on me because I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. All right, so that concludes all the changes. I was not expecting to see this. I was expecting to see more of the same, with a little swap out of Silver Series here and there, but losing so many, basically all of them, is a major bummer, and I'm not excited by that. I am hopeful that whatever comes of like the tour card events are like fun and interesting, but I just don't see it happening. I don't even know if it's confirmed to be live, so if it's not live, that's like, why would I even care? But for now, it's still a little bit in the ether, so we will see. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to watch my videos tomorrow. It is probably the craziest thing I've ever done in my entire life, so I think you'll enjoy it. But with that, Wild Runs, signing out. Peace. If you hear bugs, it's because it's actually bugs. I'm in the middle of nowhere. What am I doing?